Bismillah. In this video we will learn how to use completing square to find the turning point of a quadratic function. Quadratic function can be written in this form: ax squared plus bx plus c, or that one, a bracket x plus b squared plus c. The first one is called standard form. The second one is called vertex form. What is the meaning of turning point? When we draw quadratic function, this quadratic function may be in this sketch, the sketch for the quadratic function in this shape or that one. The first one, quadratic, has a minimum point. The second one, the quadratic, has a maximum point. Minimum point and maximum point are called turning point. So a turning point may be minimum or maximum point. Minimum point or maximum point. How to find minimum point or maximum point, which is called turning point? From vertex form, we can find the turning point, not from standard, from the vertex form. So the vertex form is better to sketch to find the vertex or the turning point. So if we have the quadratic function in vertex form, ax plus b all squared plus c, we can find from the vertex form, we can find the turning point. How? If we have this form, ax plus b all squared plus c, the turning point will be negative b and c. Change the inner and take or keep the outer. Change the inner, keep the outer. So minus b plus c. For example, if we have fx equal x plus 3 all squared plus 1, now the turning point will be change the inner, so negative 3, and keep the outer, so plus 1, the same. Second one, fx equal x minus 4 squared minus 2. Your turn. What is the turning point? Yes, turning point, change the inner, so you have 4, and keep the outer, so negative 2. 4 and negative 2. Now how to find, if we have the standard form, how to convert standard form to vertex form, then find the turning point. If we have the quadratic function in standard form, x squared minus 8x plus 16, how to write the standard form in vertex form? Let we factorize. If we factorize this trinomial, we need two numbers. If you multiply, you get 16. If you add, you get 8. So negative 4 and negative 4, because it's negative 8. So x minus 4 times x minus 4. So x minus 4 squared. So this trinomial equal x minus 4 squared. This in standard form, this in vertex form. In this case, we call this standard form complete square. Complete square. What about if we have x squared plus 8x only? We can deduce that x squared plus 8x, x squared minus 8x equal x minus 4 squared minus 16, because 16 go to the other side by negative. So we can deduce that x squared minus 8x equal x minus 4 squared minus 16. Now we can use a rule to, if we have x squared plus x or minus x, we can convert it to vertex form directly by this rule. We have x squared minus 8x. So take half the coefficient of x, which is half 8, which is 4. Then square this number, 4 squared equals 16. Then add and subtract. So initially we have x squared minus 8x. Take half the coefficient of x, half 8 equal 4. Square this number, 16. Add and subtract, plus 16 minus 16. Now this will be perfect square. So we can write as x minus 4 squared, square root for x squared, square root for 16, then minus, so x minus 4 squared, because it's perfect square. Minus 16, minus 16. Now let we try to solve. Find the coordinates of the turning point on the graph of this quadratic function. So first one, y equal x squared minus 6x plus 8. Now how to write this standard form in vertex form, then find the turning point. We have x squared, but this is number 1, x squared minus 6x plus 2. Now forget 2. We have x squared minus 6x. So half 6 equal 3. Square 3, so you get 9. So x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus 9, then plus 2. Now x squared minus 6x plus 9, this perfect square can be written x square root of x squared, square root of 9, 3, then you have minus, so minus, then it's squared. Negative 9 plus 2 will be negative 7. Now this in vertex form. So the turning point will be change the inner, so 3, and keep the outer, so negative 7. Number 2, we have x squared plus 4x minus 3. By the same way, x squared plus 4x, forget negative 3 now. Take half 4, 2. Then square the number, 2 squared equal 4. So add and subtract. So now you have x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 4. Then minus 3. The first trinomial, x squared plus 4x plus 4, this perfect square can be written square root of x squared, which is x, square root of 4, which is 2. Now we have plus. This all squared. Negative 4 minus 3, negative 7. So now the turning point, change the inner, so negative 2, keep the outer, so negative 7. Now your turn, try to solve 3. Pause the video and you try to solve, then check your answer. By the same way, x squared plus 5x minus 2, half 5, 2.5, add and then square the number, 2.5 square, 6.25, then add and subtract. So you have x squared plus 5x, then half 5, 2.5 square, so 2.5 square equals 6.25, 6.25 minus 6.25, then minus 2. The first trinomial will be perfect square, so can be written x plus 2.5 square root for 6.25 all squared minus 6.25 minus 2 will be minus 8.25. Now the turning point, negative 2.5 and negative 8.25. Number 4, by the same way, x squared, half 7, which is 3.5, so minus 3.5 square, plus 3.5 square, so minus 7x, plus 3.5 squared, minus 3.5 squared, plus 5. This will be x minus 3.5 squared. Then with your calculator you can find that one, so will be negative 7.25. So now the vertex, the turning point will be 3.5, and negative 7.25. The last point, we can use completing square to solve quadratic equation. If we need to, we can factorize. Can we factorize this trinomial? We cannot factorize because we can't find two numbers. If you multiply, you get 2, and if you add, you get negative 6. We can solve the quadratic equation by factorization, by the formula, or by completing square. In this case, we cannot factorize, but formula can solve any quadratic equation. Let we try to solve with completing square. How to solve quadratic equation with completing square? Write the standard form in the vertex form as the previous. So put x squared and x in one side and number in the other side. So x squared minus 6x, 2 go to the other side by negative. So minus 2 equal negative 2. Now complete this to be perfect square. So half 6 equal 3, 3 squared equal 9, so add 9 and subtract 9, or add 9 for both sides. X squared minus 6x plus 9 equal negative 2 plus 9. Now this perfect square can be written x minus 3 all squared equal 7. Take square root for both. Now you have x minus 3 equal positive negative root 7. So x equal 3 plus minus root 7. 3 go to the other side. Now we have two values for x. X equal 3 plus root 7. We can find in decimal. And x equal 3 minus root 7.